are you doing on the stage? Did you get lost? You just wander up on stage and you didn't even give me a shout out, even though they gave you a microphone? Thought we were friends, Celia. I thought we were friends. Now I know what you're saying to yourself. RGT, you said you weren't watching the Game Awards, and I didn't. I had my laptop next to me as I played Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, got deeper into that jungle level. Damn, that's such a good game. There's so many cool things within that jungle level that I just absolutely love. I'm absolutely in love with that game. I know Astro Bot won Game of the Year. I did say that I did see that got the Game of the Year winner award, and you know, behind Batman Arkham Shadow VR and Indiana Jones, it definitely was the third best game that I played in 2024, but it ain't clear in Indy. But I didn't watch the Game Awards, and maybe I should have, because there was obviously a lot of announcements that seemed kind of tailor-suited to the types of games that I like, bringing back old franchises and stuff like that. But I didn't feel like I missed out on anything. You know, I didn't have to see the musical performances. I just scrolled through Twitter and everyone would just show the videos of the announcements. So I didn't really miss out on anything, and I got a lot further into Indiana Jones. But I do want to talk about some of the announcements that definitely caught my eye and I thought were really cool. Ninja Gaiden coming back in Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. 2D side-scrolling game. You know, you don't play as Hayabusa in this game, so a little bit different, but I like this. You know, Dotemu is doing it. They're a really good company. They've you know, a good pedigree when it comes to these styles of games. So this was definitely very cool to see. You know, something that kind of was a motif throughout this award show was kind of older franchises that you thought these companies had forgotten about, you know, kind of being brought back into the forefront, which I think is really, really cool. Mafia: The Old Country coming out in summer of 2025. You're in 1900 Sicily. Like, bro, this is a game I'm gonna have to show to my grandma and be like, yo, you remember picking tomatoes in this field here? I mean, she was in a small village in Italy, so I'm sure there won't be representation for her in that. But like Enzo is you know, you play as Enzo. I have so many Enzos in my family, so you know, it's something cool. I do like the Mafia games. I think they are a bit underrated. You know, I know some of them are definitely better than others, but I thought this was cool to see. Speaking of franchises coming back, Onimusha, where did that come from? Now, we don't really get like a huge in-depth look at it. It's not coming out until 2026, but these were great games. And then they just completely fizzled and went away, and I don't really know why. The Onimusha trilogy is top-notch stuff. Like, it's super good. And, you know, we got some remakes of the game, or remasters of the games, I should say. So definitely cool to see that coming back. Now, another reintroduction of a classic franchise that I'm not as thrilled as with like Onimusha and some of the other games we're going to talk about is Turok. Turok Origins. It's like multiplayer in the single player campaign, and it's third person instead of first person. Like, I don't know. I'm willing to give it a chance because I am a fan of the Turok games, but I feel like this game kind of misses the mark on what made Turok like special and interesting back in the day. You know, it was a combination of a first-person perspective, you know, dinosaurs or various other enemies, platforming and stuff like that. And I feel like this game deviates pretty far from what made the games popular. I'm still willing to give it a chance, like I said, but I am a little bit more skeptical about this game than some of the other games that we saw. Another big announcement, probably one of the biggest announcements for me, is Virtua Fighter is coming back. And they're doing like a dedicated showcase today on the 13th when you're watching this, because it's probably after midnight. Well, at least it is in the East Coast. Like, yes, Sega, where have you been? How long have I been preaching about this? How long have I been at the pulpit saying, hey, Sega, bring back some damn Virtua Fighter? Like, Street Fighter and Tekken are eating right now. There's no reason that you can't get some of that food as well. So definitely very excited to see what they have for Virtua Fighter tomorrow, or today, I guess I should say. I probably will be doing a reaction of some sort, maybe on the second channel, since I literally have done 3 videos today. But who knows? Maybe I'll do another video today. But definitely stoked on Virtua Fighter. Sonic, back again. Another racing game. Sonic Racing Cross Worlds. Kind of a crappy trailer, if I got to be honest with you. They're not showing really anything. And, you know, it's just kind of like, hey, there's a new Sonic game, pal. You might like it. You might not. But definitely a cool announcement. I'm glad, you know, kart racers. I always feel like the Sonic kart racer games are a lot better than a lot of people, you know, give them credit for. Another game that was a new announcement that I am actually very excited for is The Outer Worlds 2. I absolutely loved the first Outer Worlds game. I played it on the Switch of all places, and I actually beat it. Like, went through the entire game, did a ton of side quests, have like a really large save file and a really large amount of time put into that game. But super stoked to see The Outer Worlds 2. It is interesting that this will be a PS5 game as well. This game will be releasing in 2025, so definitely stoked on that. There was some other stuff there, you know, like, okay, like a game like the new Elden Ring thing. I know there's tons of Elden Ring fans. I'm not one of those people. It seems like a bit more of a different style of Elden Ring, and I'm not sure how, you know, people will sort of react to that or anything like that, but it definitely, you know, has potential. And if you're a fan of Elden Ring stuff, like, you know, awesome. Witcher 4, you know, a little CGI trailer. It's very far away, like 2027 is the scheduled release for this game. So it's kind of like, you know, you're giving me a little bit of a tease, and I guess that's something to be excited about. Like, it's not a huge surprise that Witcher is continuing, you know. So I mean, it's cool. CGI trailers, especially long CGI trailers, they don't mean anything to me, but it is still going to be a single-player game, open-world action RPG, much like the previous Witcher games are, so that's cool to me. You know, I definitely want to see more of it. Naughty Dog, I didn't catch the name of their new IP. I saw, like, a Porsche plane in there or something. It's kind of like a sci-fi-ish, you know, narrative-driven game. I'm not the hugest Naughty Dog fan in the world, especially when it comes to some of their narrative-driven games. I mean, I'll keep an eye on it. I'll give it a chance. You know, we'll look out for it or anything like that. You know, I think it has potential, but, you know, it really is. If it's going to be a narrative game, it definitely comes down to the writing. Now, of course, there was tons of, you know, filler and padding and all that sort of stuff at this show. You had Snoop performing. You had Muppets there. I mean, it seemed like it was a much better show than I anticipated as far as, you know, what was shown there, the reveals and the announcements. I definitely thought it was going to be a softer show, and this was probably one of the better shows that Jeff has done, and I will always give the devil his due. You know, if you put on a good show and you got some good announcements, especially things that resonate with me, I got to give you credit, man. I got to give you props. Like, that's just how it goes. Like, even if I disagree with core fundamentals of it, you know, it seemed like you put on a good show. People seem to be genuinely happy. And it's funny because Nintendo did not win Family Game of the Year. Astro Bot did. How did Nintendo not win their own category? They had 3 out of the 5 nominees. And, of course, there was no Switch 2 at this show. If you thought there was going to be Switch 2 at this show, bro, I'm going to make my own, like, coin. You know, like those people do, like the crypto coins, and I'm going to pull the rug and just be like, hey, you thought the Switch 2 was going to be at the Game Awards. Like, you obviously don't have, you know, a full deck of cards here. If you honestly think that is going to work out in your favor. But let me know, did you watch the show? If so, what did you think about it? You know, usually I talk about pacing and stuff like that, but without actually watching the show, I don't know how the pacing was. But, you know, if you're ever on the fence about it, Twitter's a great way to just follow everything. I got all the trailers, I got all the information, I got all the game announcements and all that sort of stuff at like the exact same time most people did watching the show. So I didn't feel like I missed out on anything. And if anything, I got deeper into Indiana Jones. But like I said, I'll give the devil his due. Jeffrey Keighley, seems like he put on a good show. I do want to let me know what the Kojima segment was like, though. Was it awkward? Did they hold hands? And as always, guys, thank you for checking out this video. Be sure to check out the other videos on the channel that are recently uploaded, kind of a retrospective about why right now is the best era for retro gaming, and whether you realize it or not, maybe I'll open up your eyes to it, and those Nintendo Switch 2 leaks. I did get some additional information on those leaks as well, so if you stuck around to the end of this video, you're actually getting some exclusive info on that video. One of the things that I questioned in that video was the clarity of the images of the buttons that were shown. And I was told through very accurate people that the reason why some of the buttons looked funny was because the original uploader of the images actually used AI to upscale them because they were not of like a super high quality and stuff like that. Now, like I said, I'm still not 100% sure, but supposedly these source photos had been upscaled to have a higher resolution, and that's what messed up the buttons. I'll leave you to think what you want to think. And as always, guys, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Later.